Our project today is to fix this door. It's an 8-foot tall hollow core door, and up at the top it's not going in all the way. And see, it's even latching, but I have to push on it a little bit because it's springy, and the reason why it's springy is because up at the top of the door it's not going in. See, it's hitting, and you can tell it's been rubbing. I'm taking the paint right off. I'm getting ready to paint. I want to get all these doors adjusted properly. I've fixed all kinds of doors over there. If you haven't been watching my videos, I've got, I don't know, 7 or 8 doors back in there that I worked on. Each one has something different going on, especially this one here. I've never seen one quite like this. Usually you don't have it rubbing at the top. Usually the top of the door is generally sagging. You got a big gap up there, and where it's rubbing is not on the top of the door jamb, but on the side. Well, this one is not. And see the nice gap we have on the side? We got fine, and in fact, we got just enough. We got extra, as a matter of fact. And that's what I'm looking. I got and checked out this whole door. I'm getting up here on my ladder. Okay, see the gap right here? I can get this a little lower. If I lower the door, it'll get a little bit closer to the door jamb, which will be okay. See at the top? See the nice gap all the way along there? That's what I want all the way. But over here, look at that. It gets too tight. And I think what happened was when they were installing this door, they should have had this side here pushed up a little bit higher. But they didn't. They didn't. This thing's been rubbing for a long time. And I look down here. You remember the gap up there? As you come down, that gap's about the same all the way about the doorknob. Now watch. It's getting a little bit smaller, just a hair. And now at the bottom, it's touching. See there? It's almost touching. It's rubbing just ever so slightly. So that tells me, well, let's keep looking. Here's the hinges. See this big, huge gap? Look how big that gap is next to the hinge. See there? And in fact, it looks like the hinge is not even pushed over tight, right? Like maybe it's loose, like something's going on there. And I take a look at here. This looks almost tight. I've got the gap. Look how big that gap is there. Well, if anything, that gap could get bigger if I get this adjusted to try to lower the top of this door down. What I'm going to do is that hinge there, I'm going to work on that hinge. I may work on this one too. I may have to suck this hinge over. And look at this. I'm going to have to move the door, take that off, because see the back side of the hinge is not even pushed over, and that's what's causing it to get pushed over this way further. But I think I'm still going to have to kind of tighten up the hinge, push it over that way. If I get those two to push, over that way, can you see that that's going to take this door and move it like that? And at the bottom, that bottom's going to slightly move this way. The only way for that bottom to move is for the top to swivel to the left a little bit. It's going to move a little bit to the left, not a whole lot. I want a nice gap over here. And I don't want to start banging on this door, making all kinds of mess to make it look like, I have to patch this and I have to patch that and all that kind of stuff. I want to try to get this to where I look at it and it looks as though I never even touched this door, other than the fact that that edge is still going to have that paint, that mark up there where it just gouged the paint right off, see? Well, and that's the other reason why I'm doing all this, because these doors are getting ready to be painted. The painters are going to come over here tomorrow, look at paint swatches and stuff, and then he's going to be back here the following day with some painters, and he's going to get going on this job. And I'm hoping he's going to let me video a lot of stuff he's doing, as when he's doing it, I can be running the video camera, explaining certain things. Maybe it'll give you some tips and tricks on saving money and maybe possibly doing it yourself, or realizing, hey, this is a bigger job than I thought. I don't think I can do that. Or I think I can do certain things but not other things. Or, oh, that's how he did that. Or whatever. Okay? But so that's why I got to get these doors done. I still have doors up on top to work on too, up in the main floor. I'm gonna do those after I get done with this one. But once I move that over, I gotta get this gap. You see the gap at the door handle, about that much. Remember that, because I want that much down at the bottom, and right now there's nothing, right? And that could possibly move this to the right or to the left a little bit, and that will lower this down. But I have a feeling it's still gonna be rubbing at the top. And so what I'm probably gonna have to do is take my handy dandy little rasp. And I've carried this, look how rusty this is. This thing is ancient. This thing's probably, oh, I don't know, 10 years old or more. This, see how it's contoured? Round on one side. This is for metal. And this is rasp for thicker. See how big that is? And lots of times I'll use one side rough for the wood, and then I'll use the thin, you know, the metal side or whatever to shave off edges of wood or metal, whatever, usually for wood. And see, this is the flat side. That's the flat side, see? Same thing. Rough, rough, smooth. Okay. I'm going to get up there and probably from 2 inches over to the right and then going over to the left, I may have to rasp that. And if I didn't do anything to this door, could I leave this door alone, right like that, and just rasp off the top of that and be done? Yeah, I probably could, but then the gap, I'm still going to have, that's still going to be tight. And I like to get things right. I've been working on doors here, and that's my intent for the rest of today and probably tomorrow, doing some other stuff related to doors and getting things ready for the painter and all that kind of stuff. I'm right in the middle of it. So I like to do the best I can. And I know I can do better than what was here before, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do, gotta have my game plan here. I'm gonna look down here at the bottom and I'm gonna start working on that hinge first. Get you right down there where the action is. See, when I look at this hinge, first off, I see that it's coming out at an angle like that because I can feel it. It's not even pushed in tight there, and this side's sticking way out too. I don't know what is going on with this. I have not worked on this before. Just like all the stuff that I've done on just about all my videos, I don't try doing something first to see how it works and then try to recreate it again. I don't do stuff like that, generally speaking. Okay. You see how that wanted to bend out. Now see, you see that edge right there? That's I don't know what that was caused from, but that was keeping this door, this hinge from setting in there tight. But you know what? I know still, once I push that in, well, let's just see if it'll go. There's no way that it's gonna go in tight enough. See, that one's even spinning. It's not even holding. And I'm gonna have to put other screws in there. See how this is spinning? It's not even holding. But I got it pushed in tighter. I know it's not going to be enough because I saw how much that was. I think I'm going to have to do this anyway, so I believe I'm just going to go for it, which entails drilling this out. I'm gonna move the camera over here. Let's see. Yeah, about like that. I guess you can see that. I've got some sheetrock screws. They're I'm using 2.5s. And this is called coarse thread. Okay.